Hey everyone, welcome back to a new episode of In the Cup, and we will start with the biggest golf update of the weekend, which is me breaking 90. We finally did it, people. Had my golf card already, and I'll say it's not the prettiest golf card. I think actually when I texted you last weekend and I shot a 91, that card looked a lot better.
Yeah,
However, in retrospect, I only had 3 double bogeys on this card,
that's
which
great.
is a miracle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Only
literally
1-7.
last week when we talked about your 91, you were like, "Ugh, hopefully before the end of the year." It was like
Mhm.
a week later you got it.
Yeah. And you want to hear the funny thing? I was feeling like kind of funky on Friday, and I woke up at 2 a.m. because I was kind of stressing. My tea time wasn't until 3 p.m. on Saturday. And I was kind of stressing about it because, I'm a planner and all that.
Yeah.
So I actually went into the app at 2 a.m. Early Saturday morning to try and cancel my tea time. But I couldn't do it on the app because it was less than 24 hours. So then I was like, okay, I'll wake up and see how it plays out. So Saturday morning, I was just doing watching the golf and doing all the
Yeah.
things. And I was like, okay, I'll go play. And then I texted you when I got there. I was like, crap, it's so
Yeah.
hot out.
Yeah.
And then I got off to like a little bit of a rough start because I bogeyed the first hole. I double bogeyed a par 3. So actually I had 4 double. Oh, no, still 3. And I was like, this isn't going the way that I
Yeah.
pictured it to be. And lo and behold, when I got to the turn, I had a 45. I was like, it's possible.
Yeah.
But at Rancho Bernardo Inn in RB where I was golfing, their closing hole is so tough. So
Really?
from the front tees, it's about a little over 200 to a creek, an empty creek for people who haven't been following along.
Yeah.
Which you get free relief from because it goes
Okay.
through the first and 18 hole, whatever. So I've started to use my 3-wood because now that I can drive farther, like I've had a couple end up in the creek, so I'd have to drop. Anyways, so I've been using my 3-wood. So I hit a 3-wood short of the creek. Then I used a 4 hybrid, perfect 4 hybrid shot over the creek.
Wow.
Which left me about 125 to the pin. However, the main fairway is on this side. Then you have an actual creek with water going through, and the green is on the other side.
No.
So I was talking myself into it, and I knew what I had to score on this last hole, which I don't know if that is helpful or hurtful. Like, would you want to know how many strokes you know? I was debating, but I was looking at my card. So before every shot, I was like, has to be the best shot of your life. So I'm like, this has to be the best 7 iron. It was not the best 7 iron. However, we got over the creek and shorted about 30 yards south of the pin.
Okay.
So I did a chunky chip shot up. So I had to actually chip twice. And then I put it in, and then we did it.
Yay! I know. That's so exciting. I was so happy when you texted me.
Big relief. You know how nice it is to see an 8 before your score?
Huge.
Instead of a 9?
Yeah.
And another crazy thing, my brother broke 80 for the first time on the exact same day.
Oh
so
my
isn't that
gosh.
crazy? Just
That is crazy.
something in the air.
Where did he play?
I'm not sure. I don't know if he played at his usual course in Irvine or if it was a different one. But he has one that he normally goes to, but they're actually demolishing it to put up more homes because Irvine's so overpopulated that they're tearing down the golf course to build more homes because we need more crazy people.
Yeah.
In one concentrated area. But
of course,
I thought that was kind of cool. Similar to how we had 2 Korean winners this year on the tour. We had 2 Wongs break records this year or this weekend.
Mom and Dad would be so proud.
Yeah, I called them and I told them after the round, after I got my celebratory in and out because that was necessary. But
of course,
I'll definitely frame this card. And the pencil I saved. I actually have the ball too, but I don't know if I should put that in there. I don't feel like it's not as...
I mean...
We'll see. It depends on the frame, because obviously I'll have to get a thicker one. So that was the highlight of my weekend.
It's a huge highlight.
1 milestone check.
Yes. No.
Next one is to get my handicap down to 15.
Hey, you're well on your way.
And it's just crazy. I feel like, and obviously I'm not like a high profile athlete or high intensity athlete, but I'm already thinking like I could have shot 85 if I wanted to, if I didn't make like stupid mistakes.
You start thinking back on those holes. You're like, damn it.
Where you just leave them on the you leave them on the table, and it's just so frustrating. But that's just the game of golf. And I used my 3-wood for the first time.
Wow.
On a fairway, and it went pretty well. So she'll be coming out of the bag more. We're gonna let the 3-wood thrive a little bit.
She's allowed to come out of the bag from now on until she does me wrong.
Yeah. So if you follow the Back Nine blog on social media, you will probably be seeing a few posts about this breaking 90 for a little whiles to come. But, let me have my moments.
Yes. 100%. That's huge.
How was your weekend? What'd you guys do?
It was good. Not a whole lot. It was like 100+ degrees out here still, but I got my putter regripped. So that was nice.
You're talking about that last time.
Yeah. So finally got it regripped. So I've just been putting around my living room as I watched soccer this weekend. So,
amazing.
See if that helps. And then we just had some storms and stuff. So we did some things at home, but tree update from the past few weeks ago when I had a tree come down. Both trees, the one that was dead and the one that was healthy and got struck and is now dead, are both coming down. So we just had like a crazy storm come through on Saturday, and it was like 30 minutes, but it was a monsoon. And the way that I saw these trees just swaying, I got so scared. And like, where I'm about to be out of town for the next like 4 weekends, if something were to happen and we were to not be here, it just wouldn't go good. So good riddance to the trees.
Well, Amanda, they say lightning doesn't strike the same place twice, but I understand. I wouldn't want anything. I mean, but that tree could come down in any other way too because it's dead.
I know.
It doesn't even need lightning.
And my neighbor, funny you say lightning doesn't strike someplace twice. My neighbor told us that there was another tree on the yard that was taken down before we moved in that got struck twice. Is it? How come nobody has said anything? We've lived here for almost a year.
That was not disclosed in the sale of the house.
Nobody wants to share? No? Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's just take down both trees and just not have to worry about it.
Be done with it. But other than that, it was a lot of soccer.
Yeah.
I mean, as much soccer as we could. I feel like now that we're coming towards the end of the World Cup, there were only 2 games on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Which, first of all, can we just talk about this? And I'll send a note to FIFA for next time. Oh. But why are games at, I don't know, 5 and 9 or 5 and 8 p.m. Eastern time? We have people in Europe, right? Why is Europe playing at 9 p.m. Eastern? Like,
fair.
That's like quick math. We were hours of the morning.
Well, I know this because I was watching all the European golf.
Yeah.
And Scotland was 8 hours ahead. No, 8 hours ahead. Because it's 3 to you and then 5 overseas. So, they were 8 hours ahead.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
I mean, I get it. I guess they have to cater to the host nations, right? Because you have people coming in to watch.
Yeah.
So I get it. And usually like NFL games and NBA games are, at least on the West Coast, 5 to 8 is prime time for
well,
the
even
West Coast.
When American football plays in Europe, I think for us it comes on at like noon. So for you, it probably come on at like 9 a.m. So like it's not waking up at 2 a.m. to watch a game.
Yeah, and they're more into it than we are.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So we'll see. I guess we can kind of start going to FIFA and World Cup.
Yeah.
Because
let's get into it.
The fact that yesterday I sat on the couch and was like, what time are the soccer games? And there were none. Yeah. I'm like, we've had soccer nonstop for like the past few weeks. And now we're at the end. And it's like, well, now what?
Withdrawals. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Thursday was the first day that there was absolutely no games. Like we had games every day straight up until this past Thursday. And I thought the same thing. I was like, where's the soccer?
Yeah.
Luckily there was golf on, but
yeah.
We're going to have a little bit of withdrawals from having all the soccer. But let's get into the games. So the first game was England versus Norway, right? That was the first game of the day. Jude and our favorite Viking, Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
They actually played together in Germany before they went into like the bigger soccer clubs. So there was this whole, like leading up to it, was this whole like bromance, how they're really close friends. Haaland, as we know, went to Manchester City and Jude went to Real Madrid. But there were controversies in both of these games too. I don't know how FIFA is keeping up with all the drama, but I think I was golfing, breaking 90, but Norway scored the first goal, right? And then the controversy before Jude tied with his goal was it looked like the ball hit the television cable above and came straight down. Like everyone, at least on Norway, called it out right away.
Yeah.
Like Haaland called it out. He pointed to the coach, but they didn't review it. And afterwards, FIFA said that the little sensor in the soccer ball didn't detect a touch, which probably sent Croatian fans like through the roof because it didn't look like that ball in that game touched a player, but you can clearly see the trajectory of the ball once it hit that cable, like literally dropped down right in front of, I don't know, I think, was it Harry Kane?
Yeah.
And then obviously Jude went on to score. So that was a whole big thing. And I don't think VAR reviewed it.
No.
Either. So again, just keep going to the inconsistency of like what is VAR even doing?
Well,
what is there's 3 of you dudes in the booth. Like what are we doing?
Correct. And how many other booths do we have across the US that are watching this regulating? Listen, I do watch a lot of soccer outside of the World Cup because of my husband. And the consistency with the VAR is nonstop. It's consistently inconsistent on when they want to review it, when they don't. I feel like there were a few things during both that game and the Argentina game that I was like, wait, how are we not? How is this not being reviewed?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to Argentina in a minute. But after Jude scored that one, Norway had another goal to go up, but it was a disallowed goal because they said Haaland fouled sometime during the play, which goes back to the Egypt game and others. Like when, I think was it the Egypt game where they called the foul like way on the other side of the field. Yeah. And they let them dribble down all the way to the other side, score the goal, and then they said, "Oh no, it was a foul." All like how long is a soccer field? It was the other side. Correct. I don't know how long, but it was the way other side. So again, just a mess. But then Jude went on to score the second goal. And I think there was something up with that one too. I don't know if you remember, but with the second goal, was there like an offside or something?
Yeah.
Potentially, I don't know.
I don't remember exactly what the situation was, but no, it was controversial. Because I do remember watching and being like, shit.
Is that a goal? Is that not
a goal? Is that not? I'm not really sure. Like, why is the ticker not turning? But I don't know. I feel like I'm just to the point where I'm watching these games and I'm just like, what I think I know and what I do know, it's going to be different than what the refs do. I don't know. I think it was that game where a ref ran into a player. The player went to go get a pass and was dribbling down the field, and literally the ref like got tangled up with him, ran into him, and the ref was like, "Oh, my bad." It's like,
I'm surprised I haven't seen more of that, because when they get into that center of the penalty box area, it's all like chaotic and the ref is literally in the middle. And I'm thinking, how are they not running in? Or I found myself yelling like, "Ref, get out of the way," because they're so close. Like, I understand you have to watch what's going on, but you can clearly see that something's brewing here in the middle.
And also,
get out of the way.
Right. And also, that's what the VAR is for.
Yeah.
Refs, you guys be on the, correct, what it's supposed to be for. Obviously,
and
a
those
woman.
Stupid body cams, clearly those aren't doing anything either.
No, they don't.
So, also very bad angles.
Yeah.
They make me dizzy.
Yeah.
Kind of like the meta glasses with golf. I thought those were going to be, not to sidetrack, but I thought those were going to be like a great thing for, content creation on the golf course. And then I'm watching more videos of people doing it. And when they're looking down, they're looking back, and then they swing. I'm like, I just got dizzy in the less than 30 seconds it took you to hit this shot. So I will not be investing $300 in meta glasses.
No.
Although the Kylie Jenner ones are cute. But yes, England advances.
Yes.
to the semifinals. The Hey Jude at the end, the Beckhams were there. It was picture perfect, although Victoria's getting a lot of slack for looking uninterested. But she's always said that she wasn't into football.
No.
And to be honest, 90% of you weren't into football before this either. So let's give Posh a little bit of a break.
Same.
So she was there to support her country, her husband, her sons. Well, 2 of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's just let her be. Getting to the other game, Argentina versus Switzerland. And, well, I've just become very anti-Argentina.
Yeah.
Just because I do think there is favoritism, whether or not it's to the level, like the conspiracy level that everyone is talking about. But I will say it's a little suspect when, like, the FIFA guy looks visibly distraught when anything bad happens to Argentina, or you see replays of Argentina players. There was one play where I think Switzerland was kicking a corner, and 3 Argentina guys are pulling the guy down in the box by his jersey, and it didn't get called.
Nope.
And I was like, what is this? What is happening?
Yeah.
But
and I don't know if I don't think the conspiracy is all the way up to like FIFA, right?
Yeah,
I don't think
that deep.
No, I don't like. First of all, let's not give FIFA that much credit. Can we?
Yeah.
No. Now, are some of the refs crooked? Probably.
Especially since you can't challenge them.
Correct.
Like we talked about last week, yeah.
Yeah. I think Argentina's, they won last year, right?
Yes. Yeah, it was Argentina. France won the one before. Yeah.
Yes. So they won last year. Messi is always going to be a hot topic. I don't think it's as deep as everyone is saying at all. Yeah. I think Argentina's a good soccer team, football team, whatever you want to call it. Like, they're great. But I don't think we need to rig the World Cup to get Argentina there. I think that the refs have made shitty calls in every single game and have made it easier for them, which will add on to the conspiracy theory. But I don't think that it is an aid to the conspiracy theory.
Yeah. And the VAR call, the one where the Swiss player got the red card, well, his second yellow for a red, he did flop.
He did.
Technically.
Yeah.
But I think, again, when we're talking about the inconsistencies and things like that, we see that on the other side that don't get called. Yeah. So it's not like 2 wrongs make a right. But again, it's just the overall inconsistency. And like you were saying earlier, as fans, like, we don't know anything anymore. It's similar to the NBA. I don't even know what's worse at this point, the NBA flopping stuff or this stuff. I mean, it's pretty equal right now. It's pretty frustrating to watch as a fan because, again, like you said, we don't know like what's right. Like, how do we know if this is a legit call or if it's a sketchy call? Yeah. So,
well, I just think that the topic is just heightened because it's on such a it's literally a world stage. It's not just like, LA is watching it because it's their team, or Argentina's watching because it's their team. It's like, no, the whole world is playing.
Yeah, all eyes are on it.
Have their eyes on it. So, I think there's a lot, but I don't think that we're ever going to fix anything or it's going to be 100% in the right. Because also what you told me before, which I didn't realize, is that FIFA and the World Cup is a nonprofit.
Yeah. So apparently they only make money, like this obviously is their biggest event. Yeah. And then they make money on other events. But I follow this guy, Joe Pompliano, on LinkedIn, and he does a lot about like the business of sports. Yeah. And when you were talking about the air times, one of the things he was talking about was Fox, who has been doing all the coverage for the World Cup. They were supposed to do the 2022. Yeah, they signed a contract to do that one, the 2022. Was that Qatar? Whatever the Qatar one was. But since Qatar moved the World Cup to the winter because who wants to play in Qatar in the summer, and Fox covers the NFL, there was a conflict in coverage. So they pushed Fox to this year, but they kept the original deal, the money deal. So Fox actually won big on this World Cup because I think so far, like, this is the most profitable one. FIFA is going to make like $10 billion on this World Cup because of just the stadiums being able to hold more people.
Yeah.
all the ticket sales, which the fact that people paid so much money for this World Cup just shows them that people are going to do it. So what are they going to do next time? They're just going to increase the ticket sales again. And another part of Joe's story was, so there's different confederations for FIFA. There's like Asia, there's South America, Europe, etc. And obviously this World Cup is in the United States. They do like a rotation. Next one's in Europe because it's in Portugal and Africa because it's in Morocco too. It's Portugal, Spain, Morocco. And then the next one's in Saudi Arabia, which is Asia. However, Joe was writing that since the next World Cup, there's some anniversary of the World Cup. So the opening games are actually going to be in South America, in Argentina and Uruguay, which takes out another continent out of this equation. So he is saying that FIFA is using their rotation kind of gaming to basically say that's why we're going to bring the World Cup back to the United States in 2038. Because all of the other confederations are out, with the exception of potentially Oceania, which is basically New Zealand, because Australia is in Asia. So his whole theory is that they kind of gamed this rotational system so that the World Cup will come back to the United States and they'll make even more money because this has proven to be the most profitable one so far because of everything I just said. So isn't that crazy?
No, it is wild to think about. Well, and it's like the last one was in Qatar. Who wants to go to Qatar for a soccer game?
Yeah, I don't know like what the attendance. I don't even remember watching the last World Cup.
I remember watching because again, husband, but I remember leading up to the World Cup in Qatar, it was a whole thing where they didn't even know if it was going to happen because even building the stadiums, people were dying because of the heat. And I think there were even like, I don't want to say like gangs. That's not like the right word, but like similar.
Rebel armies.
Correct. Out there, and like they were only like each country was only allowed a specific amount of people to come in and cover. So it's as much as they probably made money in America, they have to be able to have it in a location where it's going to be desirable to go to, and people are going to feel safe to go to. No wonder they didn't make a ton of money last one.
Yeah, well, and the 2034 is in Saudi Arabia. So given the current geopolitical state, I don't know how that is going to go.
Like, can we?
But that's where Ronaldo plays now. Probably not going to be playing then. No. But like a lot of the big soccer players are playing in Saudi Arabia because of the big paychecks. I mean, they have the infrastructure, they have the stadiums,
right?
But it's just a matter of what is the world going to look like in 8 years, and are people going to want to travel to Saudi Arabia is another question. But I guess we have some time to figure that out.
Yeah.
But just this whole like business of sports thing that we've been kind of getting more into has been super interesting to keep an eye on how these things kind of pan out. But we have a couple of games coming up this week before the final. England and Argentina will play in Atlanta, and then Spain versus France in Dallas.
Oui.
I mean, I think we've switched our alliance to England.
Yeah. Harry.
Harry and Jude. We'll see what happens when they play Argentina, because I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of effery going on in that game.
It's going to be a good game.
Yeah. Well, sticking on the England train, we'll talk about Wimbledon. And we've talked about F1 races being elite and so posh and fancy. Wimbledon is up there with F1 races.
Of the best.
Yeah, I think a lot of people say it's their favorite major, unless they're American, because obviously they want to play in the US Open. But Wimbledon is the one that everyone wants to win. It is super posh. Everyone's dressed in their whites. Very nice. There's the royal box. We saw the royal family for the men's final, and then Princess of Wales, Catherine, was there for the women's final. But this is the first women's final that has featured 2 players representing the same country since the Williams sisters in 2009. Linda Noskova and Karolina Muchova. Linda won. They're both from Czech Republic, or Czechia, if we want to be correct. It actually looked like Carolina was going to go down pretty early. Like, I think she lost the first set 6-2.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of trending that way. In the second set, I'm like, oh, I'll be able to switch to the golf. 2 hours later, because it went into a third set, which granted, that was great for Carolina to bounce back. It was great for the fans because they do the women's final on Saturday, they do the men's on Sunday. So like you basically just get to watch the one match on Saturday unless you stay for doubles.
Yeah.
But good for her for pushing back. But yeah, I thought it was going to be a quick out, but it ended up being like a 3-hour match. Linda was the youngest player to reach the final since 2014. They did increase the purse by 7% this year. So she wins 3.6 million euro, aka $4.8 million. And I think I mentioned in a previous episode that with tennis, they've equaled the purses because the men and women play at the same events. So Jannik Sinner, who is the winner of the men's, wins the same prize money. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. It's like 8 matches at Wimbledon versus Taylor Swift's wedding. That's what you're going to get with that money.
Yeah, fair. Martina Navratilova was sitting next to Kate Middleton or Princess. So, you know, People Magazine and stuff, they always say Kate Middleton, and then you have people in the comments saying, it's Princess Catherine. We know her as Kate Middleton.
Yeah,
she's still Kate Middleton.
Yeah, she's Kate.
But Martina, who is also from Czech Republic, has 18 Grand Slam singles. She was in the box watching. They were in matching red dresses. And one of the more touching moments was Linda thanked her mom in the speech. I think everyone was crying that was watching. But her mom passed away from cancer in 2024, literally one day before Wimbledon started that year. And they both move up in the singles rankings. Carolina moved to 6 and Linda to 7. They were 9 and 12 before. So lots of money, move up in the rankings. Good all around. And I mentioned Jannik Sinner won the men's final back-to-back for Jannik. He won last year. He lost the first set, but then he came back to win the next 3 against Sasha Zverev, who was the French Open winner. And I felt bad because he got emotional. In tennis, I feel like it's freaking brutal because you have to sit there during the awards ceremony while they give you the second place trophy, and then they give the winner, and then you have to go through all the speeches. So I just feel like that's brutal. After you lose a Wimbledon final, then you have to sit there for another 30 minutes, like getting your gold plate and having to listen to the winner do their speech. But I think Sasha it looks like he was about to cry. He looked kind of teary. And I think winning the French Open, that was his first major. He's been trying to reach this milestone for a very long time. He's lost. Before this, he had lost to Jannik 9 times in a row. And I think after winning the French, he had so much more confidence. He said in his speech, like, this is the first time he really thought he could win it. And this is the first time he has made it to the final. So I felt for him. He was definitely a little teary. Royal Box, again, going back to the fanciness. Anna Wintour was in the Royal Box. Nicole Kidman, Rami Malek. Ben Stiller's literally everywhere.
Everywhere.
Besides Mariska, I don't know. Like, Ben Stiller's probably the next person who's literally at every single event.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mariska, who's going to host the Emmys in September as well. It's going to be so great.
I am so excited. I want to have an Emmy watching party.
I mean, you should with all your little charcuterie plates and stuff. So cute. What if they win, though? Would she I guess she wouldn't present to herself.
No.
But they're probably going to win something. They always do. 28 seasons is crazy. And I mentioned that the royal family was in the box as well. Only 2 of the kids, George and Charlotte. I don't know where Louis was, but George is so tall. I mean, William and Kate are tall, big. But yeah. I just found that, like, when they're talking to people, they're probably used to it. But for me, like, all the small talk, when Catherine was going down the row to present the trophy and passing all the ball kids, she would stop at every other one, and shake their hand and say a little something. I'm like, what do you even make of to say? Like,
no.
Great running after the ball, kid.
Yeah. Good job. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you. No, get me out of here. It's hot. I'm tired. And I'm hungry.
Well, from what I've heard from other people, the food in the royal box is elite. But when you're feeding the royal family, caviar bumps in between sets. One day we'll go. Tickets to Wimbledon are tough, though. Probably up there with the Masters because there's a lottery and all that stuff, too. The next major is the U.S. Open. They're going to be playing some hard courts up until then. Alcaraz is still out. I don't even know what he's been doing. He was at the Bad Bunny concert at the beginning of Wimbledon. But other than that, what Carlitos is doing, I do not know.
No idea.
but hopefully he'll come back. In the NBA, still waiting on LeBron. Like, make
what
up your
is
mind,
he
man.
Doing?
He knows where he's going. And
Correct.
he's just dragging it out. And I don't know why. Apparently, the story is that people have been courting him, sending voice notes to his agent, Rich Paul. I'm like, bro, just pick a team.
Like, yeah, you know where you're going.
Yeah,
like,
you've probably known for a good 2 weeks now.
He's out here playing golf on yachts.
Yeah, but I don't know because he's been showing, he obviously had the footage in Cleveland. He was seen in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if it's happening in real time. Like, was all of this on other days and he's releasing the footage, making people think like, oh, I'm in Miami with Giannis. Oh, I'm playing golf with Draymond. Like, it's all a big game. Just pick a team, man. You got one more year left.
That's fair, because I rarely ever post anything on my social media in the moment. And it's not anything but, like, I'm lazy when I'm in the moment. And I'll do it if I'm, like, laying on the couch later.
Yeah.
But, like, LeBron, bro.
Yeah.
You got
they always say don't post in real time because of, murder.
Yeah.
But
who knows?
That's how Kim Kardashian got robbed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, LeBron, pick a team. Let's go. The biggest story, though, besides the Jaylen Brown one that we reported last week, is this Kawhi deal from the Clippers to Toronto is on hold because of this investigation into the Clippers for allegedly being involved in this $28 million endorsement deal. So when they signed Kawhi, they had a salary cap issue. Yep. So the allegations are that they funded money to Kawhi via endorsement money via this company called Aspiration.
Yes.
Who is owned by this guy named Joe Sandberg to basically avoid the salary cap. And Sandberg was found guilty and sentenced to federal prison 14 years due to wire fraud. And the Clippers owner, Steve Ballmer, I don't know why I wrote baller. He is a baller because he has all that money. But Steve Ballmer invested $60 million into this company as well.
Yeah.
So mainly sucks for Toronto. And when the trade happened, there were people saying they traded Kawhi to avoid a potential investigation. But it seems like the NBA is going to investigate anyways or continue the investigation. And it could potentially impact. I don't know what the Clippers and Kawhi impact will be, but Toronto is definitely losing out.
And I don't know why, honestly, I don't know why Toronto would want him anyway, especially with all of this. I have actually followed this Kawhi Leonard situation pretty closely. Any of you who are listening who haven't listened or haven't caught up to it, Pablo Torre Finds Out is another podcast where he actually has episodes just diving into the whole situation, and he just basically does all the investigative journalism on it. Great podcast. But Kawhi, so a little bit about him. His dad died back in 2008. His dad was murdered, shot in Compton.
I didn't know this.
And was never, they never had any resolution to it. They never found the guy, anything. So Kawhi was 16 or 18 when that happened. And his uncle Dennis, came in to kind of be his, there's always an uncle. Always. But Uncle Dennis came in as his, I don't know, father figure, I guess. Uncle Dennis was really the one who has gotten Kawhi into this all the shenanigans with Aspiration anyway. Because, to circumvent the salary cap, basically this fake company, Aspiration, was able to give him $28 million over 4 years. There were a bunch of different things included in it, whether it's, Uncle Dennis got a piece of the cake, Uncle Dennis got this, Steve Ballmer got this, freaking Uncle Dennis, because he was just going to Steve Ballmer, he was going to Joe Sandberg, he was going to these people directly of you want my nephew to play, he needs this, and this, right? Which, I mean, Kawhi, fire your uncle. Sometimes business and family don't mix. But that was back in, I guess, 2024. And so now it's been a year and a half. It's been under investigation. And I think the Clippers are going to be stuck with Kawhi and this issue until it's resolved. But the NBA, they're going to have to shut it down. Because it's not only just the endorsement money, but they had aspiration as endorser in like the stadium, in the arena,
like
wherever
their
they
like
play.
logo and all that stuff
Yes.
as a
Like,
interesting.
and it's an environmental startup. It was a fake company.
Yeah. Did your podcaster, I forget his name, but did he say how much of this Kawhi knew of the plan?
So he says that he didn't know anything. There's a lot of emails and written transactions and things like that are between Uncle Dennis and either Steve Ballmer or Joe Sandberg or others on behalf of Kawhi. So I think that's what makes it sticky, of like, he wasn't technically in some of the proceedings.
Like he's left out of the paper trail, but he probably had to have some idea. Where do you think this extra $4 million a year came from?
Correct.
He had to have known something.
Like, and I think that was definitely part of it too. You can't say you don't know when you have $4 million deposited into your account. Like, you just, $4 million, cool. No idea where it came from. Like,
go to the ATM. I mean, they have finance guys and all this stuff like dealing with it, but I can't imagine he was completely oblivious.
No.
The depth to which he knew, probably not a lot, because again, these guys have finance guys and business managers and stuff doing things for them. But
correct.
If he wasn't paying attention, Kawhi, this is a life lesson for you to know who is managing your business and your money and your name.
Correct.
Okay.
And read what you're signing. You had to sign documents.
Yeah. Ugh, what a mess. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, besides the LeBron thing, this is the one, I think, big thing that is in limbo to see if this trade goes all the way through. We'll get to the golf, which is probably the less dramatic of all the sports this weekend. We'll start with the ladies at the Evian Championship. And first of all, the European timing threw me all off of watching these tournaments. But what I did see of the Evian, which the coverage was very spotty. I watched a lot of it on like Peacock or Paramount or whatever. But the course is as beautiful as we talked about last week. There's the second hole, which you hit down. I think it's a par 3. And all you see is Lake Geneva behind and these tall trees. It's literally like a postcard. The whole course was like a postcard. But as beautiful as we had thought it was going to be. Haeran Ryu won her second major of this year. She won the PGA Championship 2 weeks ago at Hazeltine, which is wild. In 14 days, you won 2 majors and take home like $5 million. Because I think the last one was, I forget what the purse amount was, but it was a lot. So that's a lot of money in 14 days of work. But good on her. Yeah. And similar to the last one, because remember, she came back from being 10 off the lead. She shot a 60 on Saturday to take a 3-shot lead going into Sunday. It was between her and Aki Iwai. And then Brooke Henderson was looming behind. Brooke actually shot an eagle. And then the next hole got a hole-in-one to get within 1 shot of the lead. And then Haeran hit a birdie on 18, which is her her only birdie of the day. And then Brooke eagled that hole to send it into a playoff.
So crazy.
Yeah, previously the 18th was a par 4, and then they made it into a short 5. So it kind of created the drama because it gave players an opportunity to get the birdies and the eagles. But obviously she won in the playoff. It's her 5th win, and this purse is $1.5 million. So again, all in a great 2 weeks work for Haeran. So congratulations to her. One of the big stories, though, Nelly missed the cut.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Her and Scottie, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Correct.
But she shot a 4 over on Thursday, and then she was on the cut line basically up until the last hole. She ended up being 1 over, and the cut was par. So, yeah, early exit surprise from Nelly, because we were talking about how this was potentially the one to get her to a Grand Slam, and he ends up missing the cut. But for the ladies, this is the first time in golf history that 2 players have won multiple majors in 1 season. So Nelly has her 2, Haeran has her 2.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
I didn't
good on the ladies.
That. Yeah, good for them.
I saw that this morning. So great for the ladies. And there's one more left, the AIG, which is in a few weeks after the Scottish Open this weekend. So we'll see. I feel like the women's field is just so tough. Like I thought that Lottie Woad was going to come because her and Aki were leading on day one, and Lottie looked solid. Like she looked like she was gonna pull ahead, and then Haeran came out of nowhere and shot an unbelievable score. I think the women's field is just stacked, and you don't really know who's gonna come out of the pack.
It's I feel like this season's really, really, really good for LPGA.
Yeah,
like,
definitely
I feel like there's been a lot
visibility.
A lot of visibility, a lot of success stories. So hopefully this is like the pivot that they get.
Yeah. Going over to the men's side, I don't know why I have John Deere Classic. Clearly, I'm not checking my work, but it was the Genesis Scottish Open.
Yes.
In Scotland. And the winner was Tom Kim, who hasn't won since 2023. I think one of the most likable guys on tour, one of Scottie's bros in Dallas. They play a lot of practice rounds and things together. But yeah, he hasn't won in a few years. This is his fourth PGA Tour win. He wins $1.575 million. And he's historically done well on this course, so it's not a complete shock, but he's done well for the last month or so. So I think it's some good momentum going into the Open next week, especially since that's going to be links as well. But who knows with these links courses, man? Those bunkers are gnarly.
Yeah. No, thank you. I'd be literally in them the whole time. It was yesterday. I forget what hole it was, but Chris Gotterup was in the bunker and it was like 2 feet, maybe. I can't really tell from watching it on TV, but he was like not far off of the lip of the bunker and it just went straight up. And I was like, there's no way I'm getting out of this bunker. I'm going to hit this ball.
Was it like one of those really deep ones?
Yes.
Like where the wall was like as tall as your body?
Yes. I'm like, there's no way. I was like, oh, he's going to be +4 on this. Nope. Up and out.
Popped it right out of there.
Popped it right out.
On the flip side of that, I saw Sam Burns hit one and he hit it into the wall of the bunker and it got stuck. So I don't know what you do in that instance.
Okay. I did that.
And what was the ruling? How do you get out of said situation?
I picked up the ball. Okay.
And walked away and quit.
And said, that's not going to happen today.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm playing like a casual round and I'm in a bunker and I haven't gotten out in 3 shots, I'm picking that bad boy up. Like, I'm not going to subject myself to the torture or my playing group
I mean,
the torture.
I think if they're actually playing, I feel like if anything, it would just be a drop, depending on like where,
we'll have to get
like the angle.
The book that I sent you, where's my golf ball? To learn all the rules.
Constantly ask that question.
Yeah, where'd my ball go?
Where's my ball?
Yeah, but surprisingly, I have more issues in fairway bunkers than I do with greenside bunkers.
Really?
And I'm wondering if it's because of the fluffiness of the sands. Like, it's easier, I feel like, to hit out of fluffy sand than to hit out of hard rock sand. Or maybe I'm just not hitting my club right, which is definitely a possibility.
I don't discriminate on either sand. They're both horrible for me to get out of.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely have to practice more because I ended up on this card. I ended up, I think, on the back 9 in at least 3 fairway bunkers, which sucks because you have to obviously play out versus hitting what you would normally do. But one thing I've learned in the last couple months is playing smart shots versus playing shots that you think you can do. Like the round last weekend, there was one hole where it doglegs right. There's a tree line on the right. Of course, I hook it into the tree line. And when you're over there, there's not a clean shot to the green. So previous Tiffanie would have been like, I'm just going to hit it and see if it makes it. Or I can hit it over this tree.
Nope.
Last weekend, smart Tiffanie punched it out to the left and it made it maybe about 15 yards off of the green and then just do a little chipperoo on there. Yeah. So you don't get probably the score that you want, but you end up not losing more shots because you made a poor decision.
Yeah.
So one of those golf things I'm learning to just take your medicine and take a smart shot versus trying to be a hero or play above your abilities.
You know,
because the kid I was playing with was like, I'm trying to fade this. I'm trying to cut it. I'm like, I just try to hit the ball straight and far.
Right. I'm just trying to break 90.
Yeah. And I did it.
Yeah.
One of the other crazy stories about Tom Kim is he's Korean. So Korean citizens, like we learned with BTS a couple of years ago, have an obligation to go serve in the Korean army. And that's why BTS has been gone for the last 3 years, because they're all off doing that. But you have to serve your term in the army before the age of 30. Tom Kim is 24. He gets exemption if he either wins the Asia Games, which is happening later this year in September, or if he wins the gold medal in the 2028 Olympics. And I can't imagine the pressure of having that on my shoulders. Like,
no.
Win the Olympics or go to the army.
Like,
dude.
I'm screwed either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crazy situation to be in. Because he still has, he's 24, so he has 6 years. So I'm rooting for him for the Asia Games this year.
Yeah, the Olympics is definitely harder, I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know what other or who other Asian players are playing in the Asia Games, but yeah, that's just wild. I have to look into why they still have this obligation. Like, no one's really going to war, not yet. But like, you have this mandate where, I know. You have this mandate where you're basically forcing citizens to go into the army. But for what? Like, what are we preparing for?
Right.
So, I don't know. Gotta look more into it. I don't know if that's an ignorant comment. And I don't know if there's other countries that have this obligation either. It might be more of an Asian country thing, but...
Yeah, I was gonna say, it sounds like a Korean thing.
Yeah. South.
Well, correct, yes.
Well, North might do it too. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, we'll have to.
We're rooting for
that. Yeah, we'll let him relish in this win. But very cool. The first player to call him was Tiger, which I thought that was pretty cool.
So
like,
sweet.
You win, and it's like, Tiger, I'm gonna go get this.
Tiger's calling me.
Yeah, because Tiger has a lot of time on his hands now.
Sure does.
But yeah, we're rooting for Tom. Keep it going. And we'll root for you in LA in 2028. But his buddy, Scottie, similar to Nelly, also missed the cuts. Rough Friday for the world number ones. Yeah. First time since 2022 FedEx St. Jude that Mr. Scheffler has missed the cuts.
Wow.
I saw this meme of all the things that hadn't even happened in 22, like Taylor hadn't met Travis yet, like all of these things that hadn't happened in the last 4 years. But I don't know. He's the defending champion for the Open this week, and it'll be interesting to see what happens because, as we said, links golf is a rough time. You mentioned Chris Grotter up earlier. He was in the mix. He was doing pretty well up until that last day. Minwoo Lee, we haven't really seen him too much at the top of the leaderboards. He's had some peaks in there. And Matt Fitzpatrick, who, similar to Chris, is having a great season, but I feel like they're not being talked about that much.
No. I agree.
Or at least maybe the things that we're listening to. But we talked about Chris's amazing season last week, and similar to Matt, like he has a couple of wins too. So we need to give those guys their flowers as well. I think I mentioned this earlier, but this is only the second time that 2 Korean players have won in the same weekend on the tours. Cool. Yeah. So congrats to Tom and Haeran for their wins. And the other tournament that was happening out in Lake Tahoe, the American Century Classic, which is a celebrity tournament, but it's been going on for years, apparently. I actually attended this tournament last year, and Lake Tahoe is a vibe. The lake literally looks like the ocean if you're looking out into it. Like when they talk about lake life. And it's fun because it's all these celebrities from, like, you have all these NHL players, you have comedians, you have basketball players, football players. So it's really fun to watch. It is definitely a bro out tournament, though.
Yeah.
Just watching it, I saw The Miz, who, if you guys don't know, he's a used to be a professional wrestler. I think he was on The Real World before he...
Probably.
Right? I think he was on The Real World before he became a professional wrestler. And then you have the Kachuk brothers who won the gold medal at the Olympics, and like they're all chest bumping. You have all the fans yelling, which we love. But being there, it is cool. Because, I get to see Steph Curry and all of those. But yeah, mixed feelings about this one. It looks like it's fun. They have hoops out and people shooting basketballs and throwing footballs. But it is a big bro fest. And not too many. There's only 3 women, I think, that played in it. Annika Sorenstam plays every year. Hallie Ledbetter played this year. There's another sports commentator that played. And I think normally the WNBA commissioner plays, but I don't think she played this year. So I give props to those ladies for going out there, and it's probably a super fun event for them. Annika says that it's one of her favorite events of the year that she looks forward to, but just have to go out there and play amongst the mans.
The bros.
Yeah, must be an interesting experience. But I was happy for this tournament because since all the other tournaments were in Europe, they were like the coverage was done by like 11, 12 o'clock. And then the American Century coverage came on midday. So I still had my fix of golf. And they actually do this tournament on a point system since it's like celebrities. They don't do the normal. So if you get like a par, it's 1 point, a birdie's 2 points. Marty Fish, who was a pro tennis player, he won. This is his third win at this tournament. His final score was 72. So I don't even know how to equate that in regular golf. But yeah, it was Marty Fish, Joe Pavelski, who was a former NHL player, played for the San Jose Sharks. And then Steph Curry and Annika were rounded up. They rounded out the top 4, I believe. So there's definitely like your good celebrity golfers. Yeah. And then there's other ones like The Miz and Jason Kelsey and Miles Teller. They play golf. Fun. They're not golfers. Correct. And when I was there, you definitely have to have your head on a swivel because, again, these guys aren't professionals. Yeah. So they hit into the crowds. And I saw George Kittle hit a kid in the arm on a par 3 because it went like way right. So note to anyone who goes to the American Century, like, yes, fun, but keep your eyes open for who's hitting. So yeah, that rounded out the golf for the weekend. Coming up, we mentioned the Open Championship at Royal Birkdale in Southport, England is this week. It is the home of Tommy Fleetwood, yet to have a clothing sponsor, Tommy Fleetwood. This is also where Jordan Spieth won his Open Championship in 2017. And from what I've seen, it definitely gives the Pebble Beach vibes because it's on like the Irish Sea coast. So you have all the water, the fog. We saw fog was an issue this week. Yeah. At the Scottish Open. They postponed the start for like 3 hours and then they cut Saturday short because of the fog. Links course, as we mentioned. And I did see that they have a very controversial clubhouse, though, because rather than like the old stone manor-y stuff that you see at like St. Andrews, they have this modern Art Deco white building with like big windows. So I feel like it doesn't really mesh in with the links course vibe, but you know, to each his own. And we mentioned Scottie is the defending champion, so we'll see. Hopefully he makes the cut this week, or else it'd be a very long trip overseas for not a lot of reward.
I just can't believe it's the last major of the year.
Yeah. Like, I feel like they need to space them out more.
Correct. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we are almost into August, so
yeah.
And the FedEx Championship or FedEx Series is next month, so
I guess it's also just crazy that we're almost at August. So
also true.
Yeah,
but you know, August is the best month of the year.
It is.
And then the ladies are heading over to Scotland for the ISPS Honda Women's Scottish Open. That is a mouthful.
Yes.
At Dundonald Links in Scotland. And the defending champion is Lottie Woad. Last year, this was her first pro start, and she won that tournament, which is kind of crazy to win in your first tournament as a pro. But all of the big players will be there. Nelly, Charlie, obviously Lottie. And ISPS is not a grocery store chain, Amanda. It is actually a well-caused nonprofit organization.
Okay.
Known for their sports sponsorships with an emphasis on blind and disabled golf. It was founded by a Japanese doctor, Dr. Haruhisha Honda. Yes. So,
love that.
Not a grocery store.
Well, I was like, okay, is this like a grocery store? Is this Honda, but in Asia or in Europe?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I don't know.
Nope. Good to know.
But actually, they're a sponsor of Charlie Hull, I believe. So we'll see what happens in Scotland.
Yes.
I was actually following Amanda Balionis, and she was getting all into like the Scottish thing. She was wearing like the hat. Well, she was wearing the Viking hat because all of the Norway fans did the row thing for Victor. And then I don't know if you saw around Boston when the Scottish fans were in Boston, there's this tradition where they put traffic cones on like statues. So they have like hats now with traffic cone hats.
That was literally the first thing that I saw when I turned on the TV, when I started watching coverage, was just like a kid running around with like a traffic cone on his head. And I was like, what is going on? What have I missed?
But we might have to, I know Chad already did his like Scotland trip and did like St. Andrews and all those places, but Scotland is definitely a place I want to go to.
Same.
We just have to figure out how to mix in like the beach with it because I don't want fog and dreary the whole time. But these little like Scottish and English towns, they look so cute.
They're so cute. Yeah. I know. When he went, he was there for like 10 or 11 days. And saw a couple different places, but definitely I have notes for if we were to go. And I think it would be, we can make it work very easily.
Yeah, we might have to bring some snacks though because the food in the UK is not
lots of
not my fave.
Lots of meat and potatoes.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't do Germany very well because it's the same. And to wrap it up, the ESPYs are on Wednesday. Marcelo Hernandez from SNL is hosting. Nelly is nominated for Best Athlete Women's Sports. Anthony Kim is nominated for Best Comeback Athlete, and the Best Golfer nominees Nelly, Rory, Gino, and Scottie. And I love watching the ESPYs. It's always fun, but I feel like also the awards are a little lazy.
I agree.
Like, if you look at the nominees, it's like, duh.
Yeah.
So, I think it's just another.
I also feel like there hasn't been much hype around it. I mean, I know we mentioned Mariska's hosting the Emmys later this year, but like, that's already been a ton of coverage, and it's in September. This is this week, and
haven't heard a lick until I think this morning because I was like, oh, the ESPYs are on this week.
Yeah,
but the one I remember the most is the year that Justin Timberlake hosted it, which was 2008. That's when, well, I know because the Celtics won the championship that year. But I used to love watching the ESPYs. But yeah, like you said, the recent years, I haven't heard. It doesn't get a lot of promotion. My bet is that they're probably not even going to have them for that much longer, if I had to guess. Because again, it's just kind of like I don't know. Doesn't seem like it's that prestigious anymore.
It feels like a money grab to get everyone together and get some sponsors.
Yeah, similar to FIFA.
Yes.
You know, the business of sports. Yeah. Business of sports. So, yep, we're going to be staying overseas, more early morning golf, which means that we can do things in the afternoon. And I will end with, we didn't start with this, but we have our lovely in the cup little water things. Amanda and I are matching. So, well, do a little sipperoo. We hope everyone has a great week. Enjoy the finale of the World Cup. And enjoy all the European links golf. And I'm sure we're going to see some funny bunker shots from this weekend.
Yeah.
We hope everyone has a great week, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.